Hi, in this video we'll talk about booleans, comparison operators, and logical operators. Now remember about the two data types we have talked before, integer and float. The third data type that we need to know is called bool. Many people call it boolean. Whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. What really matters is that a boolean is a data type that can have a value of true or false. Now, you need certain scenarios where you need a result either true or false. And based on that, you perform calculations. So that's what Boolean do. So in Boolean, you either have a result true or false. So for example, let's say we have a variable is married. All right. Now is married? No. So to say no, we can say false. It's like that. Or it's like that. All right. So let's print the result. So we need to change it because it's a new file, Python for Windows, and operator. It's called operator. It's not operator. 2.py. All right. We didn't print the result, by the way, so we need to print it as well. All right. So print is married. Don't forget to save it, otherwise changes will not be made. So here, as you can see, it's false. Okay. Now it's not very useful if you are using like this. So what is the main use case for that? Well, the main use case of Boolean is in comparison operator. So the result of the comparison can be either true or false. And we can use a Boolean to represent the result of the comparison. Okay. So that's where Boolean is used mostly. And we will be using similarly for the same purpose. So what is comparison operator? Comparison operators, unlike arithmetic operators, in arithmetic operators we have two values, left and right, and we perform operations like you perform plus, addition, as minus, subtraction. In comparison operator we have two values and we compare these two values, and based on the comparison we give output, whether comparison is true or false. So these are some of the comparison operators in Python and other programming languages as well. So this one is smaller than equal to, this one is greater than equal to, this one is smaller than, this is greater than. Okay, so if left value is smaller than or equal to right value, it will return true. In this case, if it is greater or equal to, return true, otherwise false. This is called equal to, when you compare two values, whether they are equal or not. And this exclamation means not, so it means not equal to. Okay, so let's perform certain operation. Let's say I say print 2 is smaller than 3. Okay, it is true or false? Well, let's try it. It's true. Okay, so 2 is smaller than 3. It's true. Let me clear the screen again. Okay, now 2 is greater than 3. Let's say false. 2 is not greater than 3. 2 is greater than equal to 3. It's false. Let's say 3 is greater than equal to 3. Okay, it's true, man. It's true, obviously, because 3 is not greater than 3, but 3 is equal to 3. And then let's say 3 is equal to 3. This one. It's true. Don't mix this 2 equal with 1 equal. 1 equal is for assignment. Remember in the last video, how do we assign the variables? Like this one. So 1 equal means assignment. It means the right value will be stored in the left value. It's a variable. All right. And similarly, we can also do like not equal to. Okay, so 3 is not equal to 3. It's false. Okay, it's false. You get the idea, right? So this is comparison operators. Now let's talk about something called logical operators. Now logical operators is a little bit complicated, but it's easy as well. So let's say we have 4 values, and what we do is first we perform comparison operator on first 2 values, then we perform comparison operator in second 2 values, and then we compare these 2 values together. So that's where logical operators comes into play. Okay, So we'll talk about this, all right, in this example as well. So let's say you say that 2 is smaller than 3 and 3 is smaller than 2. So what do you think, it's true or false? I say 2 is smaller than 3 and 3 is smaller than 2. So it's false, all right, because this is not the true. What I can say is 2 is smaller than 3 and 3 is greater than 2. Okay, so it's true. It means that both of these must be true. Then we're gonna say true. If one of them is false, then we're gonna say false. So let me use a Boolean operators over here. So let's say I said true. Okay, I can use the Boolean values directly. Okay, true and true. So true and true means true, and false means, can you guess it? It's false. Okay, so and means both of these must be true. All right, let's comment this. Let's say we have another one, or I will use same Boolean values. So true or true. So true or true. It means if one of this is true, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So let's try it. So it's true. Now let's say here false. It's again true because one of this is true. It will only be false if both of these are false. Okay, over here as you can see it's false. So that's what OR operator do. So OR operator will perform its operation and it will return the result based on the comparison of 2. If both of this is true, it will return true. If one of this is true, if both of this is true, it will return true. If one of this is true, it will again return true. And if none of them is true, then it will not return true. Evaluate if at least one side is true. Okay, now the last one is a Boolean type. It's not. Now that's a little bit complicated, but not too much. Let's try this. So for example, I have true and true. It will return me true, right? Now what I would do is I would wrap it with not. So that's how I can use not. Okay, so it's false. So before not, it was true. Okay, but what not does, it inverts a Boolean type. So if I say not, just use the simple values. Let's say I say not true, so it will return me false. So it will inverse the value. So not true means false and not false means true. Okay, so it is used for inverse. It inverts the value. We need some scenarios where we need to inverse the value. Okay, that's very important. Now just try to understand these logical operators, how we are using it. Don't try to find out that what can be the best use case for this, because throughout this course we will perform multiple examples together. I will give you challenges and then I will give you solutions as well. And on these problems that we're going to be doing, all of these concepts will be covered. You will understand it better with the passage of time. Okay, for now I just want that you get the information. What are the logical operators, comparison operators, arithmetic operators? So now let's move forward. Let's perform one simple practice exercise. So we need to write a code to evaluate age as a teenager. So boy or girl having age between 12 and 20 is considered as teenager. So this is the rule. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to store the result in variable and print on screen. So you need to find out whether a girl having certain age is teenager or not. So for example, we have age variable. Let's say age is 15. Okay, now if age is 15, how we can find out whether it's a teenager or not? Let's find out. So I would make another variable using camel case because I have more than one word. So is teenager, and I would say if age, I said age must be between 12 and 20. So what does it mean, between 12 and 20? It means that either age should be greater than or equal to 12, and age should be smaller than equal to 20. So if the age is in between 12 and 20, this guy is teenager. All right, so let's print this. Is teenager. Okay, so let's find out. Yes, this guy is teenager. So let's say I say 21. It should not be teenager, so it should return me false. And yes, it's returning me false. Okay, so that's how you can use the logical operators and comparison operators together. So that's a great example. So for now, we have talked about Boolean data type, float and integer data type. We also talked about comparison operators, logical operators, and arithmetic operators. So you can go to the previous video if you want to revise. If not, then please click next